Times were tough, so I sold my soul. And I don't think I'll ever regain control. Devil looked me in the eye, and I looked the other way. What else could I do? I just stared at the doorway, knew I'd rather be drunk with you. I'd rather be.
Hey Internet, Dracofunk here. Welcome back to my Reusable Space Program, Season 3, Episode 13. Last episode, we started off with the space tourism segment, and we are going to divulge from that for just a moment. This ungodly abomination of a fairing is... well, it is a rover, and this is the big rover, and I'm sending it to the Mun. And there's still one strut that is just out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where that strut came from or why it's there. It's there. That's all I can say. But yeah, this is a big rover, and I'm sending it to the Mun. And I don't have a very good reason other than I realized that I did not put a rover there, and I really should have. And I didn't. Now, it does have its own engines, and it could probably fly itself to the Mun, but it is not going to. I'm going to tow it there, but first, I am going to be a responsible space person and land the booster. I have been very, very bad about landing my boosters and taking care of them, and that is why my Kerbal orbit thing is so messed up right now, and I need to go through and take care of all of that. So I'm going to stop contributing to the orbital junkyard that is up there. And by junkyard, it's, boosters that need to come down and land and be recovered. And as we can see, this one can be recovered and can be partially recovered. Anyway, so here is the rover, and what we need to do is we need to get this to the Mun, and we need to land it there. And I think the best way to do that is the space trucks. So there's a nice shot of the big Mun rover. I also have to point out, for whatever reason, I have not actually tested this to see if it's a good rover before launching it into orbit and deciding I'm just going to test it on the Mun. I've built rovers before. It's probably fine. So, let's see. I am going to go ahead and be very, very particular, and I'm using Space Truck 6 because of its engine configuration. It will probably be the best to tow the rover, although I think most of the space trucks would be fine. I just believe this one would be the most convenient. with its engine configuration, it should easily be able to put its engines between the Rover wheels. And I designed the Rover in such a way that it should be pretty balanced, because I also am going to attempt to use the space truck to land it. I haven't yet decided if I'm going to refuel at the Mun base before I attempt to land. Or at least prior me hadn't decided yet. So I'm just going ahead. I'm using the rendezvous planner to get an encounter. And I make a couple mistakes. Okay, I'm going to use the Matlown lazy docking method, if I can find the ship. And the way you do that is you target the docking ports, and then you just hit the face target button on each of the ships, and then using the nav ball, just get them flying towards each other, and they will just continue to point to each other, and that's pretty much it. And as you can see, this space truck and the big rover fit together very nicely, and I think I made the best choice in which space truck to use. You see, I forget which space truck it is. Space truck, is that 7? Maybe? Either way, one of the space trucks that's on his way to Minmus. No, it's not Space Truck 7, it's Space Truck 9. Yeah, is still on its way to Minmus. Has been for the past couple episodes. And it'll get there eventually and can do its fuel run. But spoilers, it is still not going to be there by the end of this episode. So we are now getting a Mun encounter. I like the in-cockpit view on this space truck. And this is the whole point of the space trucks. We are launching things and doing stuff throughout the solar system, and the space trucks are just there to help deliver it. And we have our Mun encounter. Alright. Set an alarm clock for the periapsis. And now all we got to do is circularize. Now, there's one thing, like, where do I land this rover? Do I land it close to the surface base I already have, or do I land it somewhere more interesting? And what ends up winning out is land it someplace more interesting. And I'm going to head and aligning the plane with the space station in orbit of the Mun. Okay, see that canyon right there at the edge of that big crater? I've been there a couple times, but I always like to take a rover there. And I haven't really explored it too thoroughly in the past. I have been there. I have landed rovers there before in different saves, but I believe that's where I want to go. And right now I'm thinking, I have, 1,500, 1,400 something Delta V, and that's enough to land on the Mun. And, once I drop the rover, the space truck will have plenty of Delta V to get back into orbit of the Mun and rendezvous with the Mun space station. And that is what I'm telling myself right now, that I don't need to go and refuel before landing. So I'm just going to go ahead and land there, even though I've just noticed my preferred landing site is going to be at night. But, I'm feeling cocky. Still have just under 1,400 Delta V. And, my landing site's at night, but it doesn't matter. It's fine, right? And once I ditch the rover, I'll have plenty of Delta V. That's what I'm telling myself. All right, there is the canyon that I'm so interested in exploring. I feel like I'm coming down at a good location. Okay, I'm below 1,000 Delta V, but it's fine. Once I ditch the rover, the space truck will have plenty of Delta V. One thing I have not realized yet, though, is I forgot to disable the crossfeed, and the rover is meant to have fuel on board. And once I realized I hadn't done that, I start using the rover's engines, which they're not super powerful. I am slightly a little bit concerned now about Delta V. But I still believe, once I let go of the rover, that the space truck will have plenty of Delta V. Okay. And I'm going to do the landing in real time. As you can see, the space truck is able to make a nice and relatively soft landing on the surface. There we are. 362. But once I ditch the rover, it'll be more. A couple things I could have done now is transfer the little bit of fuel that's left onto the space truck, but nah, it's fine. It's not as much as I thought it would be. That's enough to get into orbit, right? Right? And it's kind of about here that I realized I have made a mistake, and I do not have enough fuel to get into orbit. I'm still trying to circularize, and I'm trying to go through different scenarios in my head about what to do. And I'm watching my Delta V go down and realizing I am in trouble. Okay. If I don't do anything, I am going to crash. There is no way around that. if I don't do anything, I am going to crash. The only thing I can do now is hope I can get into orbit using RCS. And so I waited till I got to apoapsis to make the best use of my acceleration. And as you can see, I am, in fact, getting closer. I am using a lot of my monoprop. But I am very close to getting into a stable orbit. I will need to be towed. Okay, I am in a orbit now that is doable. I can do better. I have 190 units of monopropellant. Let's see if I can get it back. I don't know if I can get into a 100-kilometer orbit. I should be able to. Okay. I have avoided disaster. And I have 115 units of monopropellant left. That was not good. So anyway, back to the Rover. So I have not actually tested this Rover out. I'm going to turn the engines off so I don't accidentally flip myself over. Driving this around. And I think it's time to throw this out here. We haven't done a subscriber drive since last year. We did our 100 subscriber challenge, where I drove the Rover train from the North Pole to the South Pole. So I'm going to throw this out here. For 200 subscribers, I will land a Rover train on the Mun and drive it from, let's say, this canyon here to the North Pole of the Mun. I can power slide this Rover. And let's just throw it out there. I'll do it. 200 subscribers by the end of 2024. But hey, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.